I remember when I had a deal, it was on for £85,000. I offered 62.5. Always be specific in your offer. Why? Because it makes it look like you thought about it. So if it's on for 85 and I offer 65, they'll say, meet me in the middle at 75. If it's on for 85 and I offer 62.5, they'll go, round up to 63. It's just the psychology of putting in an offer. I offered 62.5 and they said, round it up to 63. I'm like, yes! Now this time, I'm 19 years old. 17 years old, I bought one house. 18 years old, I bought 0 houses. Just had a very, very long year of work experience and trying and failing. 19 years old, I've now put this offer and it's been accepted. Problem is, I've got no money. So they said, Samuel, congratulations, your offer's accepted. All you need to send us now is your proof of address. I'm like, yeah, easy. Solicitor details, easy. Mortgage broker details, easy. Photo ID, easy. And proof of deposit. I'm like, oh, I haven't got any proof of deposit. I got no money. Any money that I did have, I've spent on training. Now my drama student is telling me that I'm an idiot. But I got no money. So the offer's accepted, I got no money. And then they rang me the next day. Samuel, we need to see your proof of deposit. Otherwise we can't take the house off the market. I'm like, what do you actually need from me then? They said, we just need a screenshot of your name on your bank and the money in your account. And the deposit is £13,000 and we need to see that. So I rang up my brother. I said, Russell, do you have 13 grand? He said, no. He's 2.5 years older. I said, well, how much do you have? He said, I have 10,000. I said, do you have an overdraft? He said, yes. I said, how much for? He said, 3,000. I said, perfect. I said, can you please send me over all your money plus all your overdraft because I'm buying this house. He was like, no. I was like, but man, I'm buying this house. It's a really good deal. Maybe we could do a joint venture on it. He said, no, dude, I need that 10,000 for bills and stuff, and I'm not going maxing out my overdraft. I won't be able to afford to eat. And at this point, I was so skint that I was literally having to sometimes, I would break down because I didn't have petrol. I was skint. I had a HMO. I had a house. It was a free house because I bought it creatively. It was giving me about £900-1,000 a month profit, which is great, but I'm using that to live on. So I'm skint. No other income stream, and I'm driving all around the country and paying for network meetings and training and this and that and the other. I'm skint. I said, Russell, I need this house. I said, give me £13,000 and I will give it to you back in 3 minutes. He was like, what? I said, bro, do you trust me? He said, yes. I said, do you love me? He said, yeah. I said, just send me the 13 grand. I'll send it you back in 3 minutes. He's like, how's that going to help you though? I said, just do it. He sends it to me over, I see it in my bank, and I'm like, that looks nice. I've got 2 more minutes of this. So what did I do? I just screenshot it. I sent it back. Then I went to the estate agents with the screenshot the next day. Now, by the way, I'm not suggesting that you do this. I'm just telling you my story. Okay. That's not very ethical. Listen, man. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, you just have to do whatever it friggin' takes. You know, and I just needed to get this house off the market. Knowing this, how long does it take for a house to complete? 2 or 3 months. And now I've got 2 or 3 months to actually get the money. But the house is going to be off the market. Again, honestly, I'm not suggesting you do this, I'm just telling you my story. So, they say that looks good, they took the house off the market, and I got 2 or 3 months. Now I'm going to every single property networking event I possibly can, trying to beg to get money. I'm like, hey, I've got a contract set, I'll give you 10%, return on investment for 5 years, I've got it all ready, and I'm trying to get this money, and everyone's saying, no, 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 no. And I'm going around like a beggar. And I'm going to these networking events, and I'm so desperate. It's like, honestly, I just walk into a room, and it's as if you can see desperate written on my forehead. You know, desperate, broke, need your help. And instead of me kind of focusing on what I've got going for me, I was just focused on what I didn't have, which was the money. And I was like, I'm screwed, I've got no money, I need money, can you give me some money? I've got this great deal, but I'm gonna... And I was focusing on the lack rather than focusing on what I had. And what you focus on tends to expand. So if you focus on what you don't have, then that actually expands. Whereas when you focus on what you do have, that expands. So I was focusing on the wrong problem, as a result of that, 2.5 months later, I get a phone call off the estate agent saying, Samuel, I think we're due to complete real soon. Have you spoke to your solicitor? Or my solicitor said we're completing in 4 days' time. Have you got the monies? I don't have the money. Now, not only am I going to lose the deal, but I'm also going to lose my relationship with the solicitor, who's a friend of a friend, and I'm going to kill the relationship with the agent. It's going to be embarrassing. I'm stressed. I'm desperate to get the money. I go to a networking event. I've got the contracts written up. I'm desperate. Can't happen. Monday, they say the deal's gone. We're going to put the property back on the market. I've got till Monday morning. It's now Saturday. Saturday night, I go to a property networking event and I stand up and I'm like trying to pitch. And I'm just like being treated like a leper. I got home Saturday night and I thought, I'm giving up, man. I've been doing this for 2 years. I got one property, but for the last 12 months, I've not bought anything. I'm done. I went to my grandma's house the next day for a Sunday roast. And I was like, just forget it. And I was in the mood. And she's like, what's up? I said, oh. She said, what's up? And I told her, I just said, I've got this house and blah, blah, blah. I started telling the story. And she's like, oh, it's such a shame. She said, why would no one invest with you though? I said, because I don't know why. The deal's great. I was going to give him 10. She was like, but 10% is really good. I'm really sorry, man. She's 10%. I'm surprised. Like, that's a lot better than the bank. I'm like, I know. She said, well, what would happen if you couldn't pay the investor back though? I'm like, well, I could if I could. If the house doesn't rent out, it's on my head. I'll make it happen. I've got this other property. I've got equity into the property. She says, yeah, but what about this? Yeah, but what about this? And I'm suddenly like, is she interested? She says, can I have a look at the contract? I'm like, oh my goodness. My grandma is interested. So we're looking at the contract and we're talking about it from a third party, what the investor might think point of view, but now it's kind of getting to a situation where we're talking about the deal as if the investor, but I know, and she knows that I know that she knows that we're talking about her. As this conversation goes on a little bit and we start talking, she goes, well, she looks over at my granddad and my granddad looks over at her and my granddad gives a little nod. She says, we've got some savings and could be interested. Wow, She says, when would you need the money by? I'm thinking like, tomorrow morning. I said, oh, ideally tomorrow, but like, obviously, no pressure. She goes, well, we'll have a little think about it and maybe we'll talk to you over the next few days or, I can't push this, it's my grandma. And I'm just like, cool, we drop it, I go home, I go to bed, I wake up in the morning, I wake up at 7:01, I open Facebook, I've got a Facebook message from my grandma at 6:54 a.m. She says, Samuel, we've gone through everything, I've spoken to you, Granddad, where do you need the money sent in? I was like, Grandma, I said, that's amazing, thank you, and I sent her the details. She sent me £15,000, 13 for the deposit and 2,000 for all the legals and stuff. I bought the house, so we completed within a few weeks. I bought that house, 63,000. It's now worth 130,000. It was renting out, giving me about 24% return on investment. What I'd do is the 15 grand that my grandma gave me, every year in August, I'd give her £1,500 interest. 1,500, thank you. Thank you. 1,500. We never spoke about the money. Continue having a good relationship. It was just like a bit of a taboo thing. We didn't talk about it. And I don't think like even my dad knew. It was my dad's mom. And my dad, by the way, fell out with me when I left the family business. So like it was all a bit kind of awkward. And my dad was like, you want to do what? Property investing? Like really kind of not cool. By the way, my dad now is one of my tenants. But anyway, so I'm sending my grandma this 1,500, and then after 4.5 years, I'm thinking, I need to give the money back to my grandma. Now, as it happens, 4.5 years later, I'm kind of wealthy. I've got lots of properties, I've got lots of equity, so, and I could easily give my grandma the money back. So I phoned her up, I said, Grandma, I said, it's been 4.5 years, I've been giving you 10% interest every August, and I said, but this August, I need to give you 10% interest plus your 15 grand back. So how do you want me to pay? And she said, yeah, actually, I want to talk to you about that. About that money that we gave you. I was like, is everything okay? Well, me and your granddad have been talking a lot and we'd like to see you in person. Now I'm thinking, oh my goodness, she's probably been on Zoopla and seen how much the house is worth now. Because it's gone up a lot. And I've been, obviously she put all the money in, but I've been getting probably more profit from her than she's been getting. And I've got the equity and the capital appreciation of the house. I'm thinking, she's pissed. But we had a contract, it was all really clear. Have I done what I said I was going to do? Has she been getting a lot more money than she would in the bank? Of course. So I'm like, so I went round the house and I'm like, Grandma, what's up? She said, oh yeah, grab a seat, you know. I said, look, I can give you the money back tomorrow if you want. I'll give you everything back. You know, with the interest, like, they're like, no. I said, Samuel, we wanted to talk to you because here's the thing. When we gave you that money, that £15,000, you know, that was sat in our bank before and it was given us a small amount of interest. But here's the thing, Samuel, we've only got so much money, you know, and we gave you 15 grand. And we've been using the interest that you've been giving us to go on an annual cruise, and for us it's like a free cruise, and we just wondered if we could extend the contract one more year so we could have one more free cruise. I was like, Grandma, I thought you were upset with me. She was like, upset? Are you crazy? We got to Barbados, we got to... I'm just like, oh my... I'm like, Grandma, we can extend it. Of course we can extend it for another year. Guess what? Following year comes up. She has to extend it one more year. Guess what? I'm now 28 years old. I'm 29 in a couple months. My net worth is £16 million. My grandma still won't let me give her that 15 grand back.